Sup, yo? I got a script this time so that I wouldn't get off topic or start yapping. Anyways, enough talking. Let's get into this. You have been rerolling and are unsure of when to stop. Stop when you can no longer reroll, or when you feel like you'll get shafted even harder on the next reroll and you want to keep the current IDs that you have. If you don't know how to reroll, I yapped about it in my previous video, so check it out. So what IDs should I settle on? First of all, a disclaimer. These suggestions are based off of early game usage and usability towards late game potential, with the current IDs and E.G.Os available to take into account. Your team composition should always consist of 1 to 2 sync IDs, Faust, and the rest being strong damage dealers in the early game as a new player. This is because sync allows you to clash. Sync allows you to also take less damage because you're winning clashes. So ideally, 1 to 2 sync IDs, Faust, and the rest being strong damage dealers. I will explain this later in later sections. For now, you want to think about how do I settle? Well, ideally, you want to settle on Lord Lu, Mouse, Thumbsalt, and Manager Dawn, all 4 of these monsters in one single account. However, the chance of getting this combo is very unlikely. Keep this in mind that one ID that always works well, regardless of ideal IDs, is Ringy Sang. Here is what he looks like, and reason being is because of his skill 2. Read into it, you'll see why it's so nutty. So, settle once you get 1 or 2 of these 4 ideal IDs, but what if I only got 1 of these IDs and are unwilling to continue? I can respect that, and here's what to do. Let's say you pulled 1 of these IDs on the first roll, first 10 pull, and you ended up getting Lord Lu. Well, if you land on Lord Lu and no ideal IDs, pray that you get Heisho alongside him, or a decent Rupture ID, such as 7 Heathcliff, 7 Faust, 7 Otis, Rossman Gregor. Pray you get them on the next 10 pull. If not, that's fine. Now, what if it was Moused and no ideal IDs? Well, pray you get Mao Branch Heishos, or Drifter Daisho alongside her. If not, you should get good Rupture IDs, such as Sync Marsault, 7 Heathcliff, 7 Otis, Rossman Gregor. I'm saying Sync Marsault here because Moused is able to give a lot of Rupture count application, and Sync Marsault will need that Rupture count application. Sadly, Lord Lu is not the best at Rupture count application, which is why I never even considered Sync Marsault in his reroll. If you land on Thumbsalt, pray you get Thumbclair or Burn Tremor IDs. Liu Yusang, Liu Rodion, Firefist Gregor, T-Corp Otis, T-Corp Dawn, N-Corp Yoshu, Rossman Rodion, and Wu Sang. If you land on Manager Dawn and no ideal IDs, pray you get Lamajalan IDs such as Prince Marsault, Prince Rodion, Barbara Otis, Priest Gregor, and prioritize them in that order. Some honorable mentions are Kurokumo Clan Ishmael and Kurokumo Clan Heathcliff. If you get those 2 alongside Manager Dawn, that's good. So here's an example. I made an F2P account to see what new players had to go through, especially ones who aren't so, invested in the game. And after rerolling multiple times, I ended up with IDs and E.G.Os that I am happy with to proceed with. These E.G.Os and IDs being Mouse, Singsalt, Dorokelja Faust, and Duck Rodion. I settled on these as these IDs and E.G.Os will carry me to the end of campaign, with some help here and there. I'm going to leave this combo here for the more experienced new players who got experienced friends to guide them. If you ended up with this legendary combo of either N-Corp Yisang or Pre-Quad Yisang with Fell Bullet E.G.O for him, keep it. And of course, if you also get 1 of the ideal IDs as well, keep it. They will explain how good your account is. I will not. Now then, why are these IDs important and why should we prioritize them? Well, first of all, Limbus gives new player the most broken ability ever. Adding friends. Here's my code. I'll put this in the description and comment section for anyone interested. I'll add y'all as soon as I can. This is my company, by the way. Using IDs from other people can help not only boost your team's potential, but also round out the team where you are lacking. Not only in the form of uptight skills, but also for their equipped E.G.Os that you can play around with. The IDs you will want to be looking out for are as follows for completing a combo. Lord Lu and Moused, Thumbsalt and Thumbclair, Manager Dawn with either Prince Marsault, Princess Rodion, or Ring Sang. If you can have these 2 IDs in combat, expect good shit. resource farming as new players. You will not have as much energy as others and lacking tickets and threads to do shit. Here's what you should do instead. Grab a strong support ID that's high level and is strong, get as far as you can in campaign, convert your energy modules, and just go to town. Once you hit a wall, do the hardest excavation available to you. Every single day, you will prioritize 3 thread and 1 XP excavation. Every week, you will prioritize 3 mirror dungeons. Do this as soon as you can because free lunacy. Do not skip. Do not skip. Oh, and by the way, the 3 threads and 1 XP excavation thing, non-negotiable. Do it. Battle Pass levels are also important as they give a lot of goodies to help with leveling, uptying, progression, and also egos to boost the strength of some teams. Battle Pass levels are even more important if you have bought the Battle Pass itself. Once you're strong enough, rush Refraction Railways. This is a time-limited thing, and they have goodies. It is worth trying. There are guides out there on YouTube, so watch those guides. I recommend watching base sinner only runs as it gives the most amount of important information on how to beat Refraction Railways. Gacha. In this section, I will talk about how to be efficient when pulling. Starting off, never pull if you are still a new player, and especially so if you are free to play. Pulling in Limbus is great due to their rates compared to other gacha games and are a lot more generous. However, dispensing IDs is just far more efficient than pulling IDs. Dispensing IDs allows you to control the outcome and helps build the dream team more efficiently. For now, save your lunacy and tickets unless they are the guaranteed blah blah tickets. Then go ahead, use those guaranteed 3-star whatever. But only if it's not Season 7 tickets. If it says it's a Season 7 ticket right now for this Season 7, do not use it at all cost. Save this ticket for Ryoshu's Giga Juicy Epic ID when it's revealed. Resist the urge at all cost. Do not ever use it. Never avoid using it. What to do with my tickets and lunacy then? Save it for true limited banners or time-based banners when you can pull 200 times in intervals of 10. Never do single pulls, only 10 pulls. And you want to do it until you have your pity. Never do it without that pity. Arknight's collab banner is a true time limited, and it's gone now, so who cares? Lamau. While Purgisnacht, on the other hand, is just giga value that comes every few or so months. More IDs in the pool and the chance of getting time-gated IDs is much higher. These IDs will become important the further you progress. They will be even more important once your team is no longer fragments of strong stats, and more of when they are slowly becoming a more synergistic whole. Sinner levels and damage. In this section, it will be very lengthy, as I will be explaining why levels are important and how a new player can do more damage. For now, forget team building, for as you do not have a bunch of threads to just spend. Because you will end up just having uptight 1s and 2s. What more can you do while you are getting more threads for a proper juicy team? Starting off, you can't do damage. It's because you lose clashes, not enough damage, or do not understand the ID's gimmick. Now, the importance of levels. Whenever you level up your Sinner, it will increase the offense and defense level of your ID. Why is this important? And what do these levels even mean or do? Well, let me explain. If you have a higher offense level than the opposing clashing attack, you will gain a bonus to your final clash power, meaning you get to do damage. This is only true if your offense level is higher than theirs by increments of 3, and only 3. Here's an example. If you have 7 offense level and they have 4, you will get +1 to final clash power. If you have 9 offense level and they have 4, you will still get +1 to final clash power because the difference is 5, not 6, 5. However, if you add 1 more to make it 10 offense level, you will now have a difference of 6, which will get you +2 to final clash power. So, to reiterate, 10 offense level versus 4, difference of 6, gets you 2 to final clash power. With offense level difference also comes more damage. It's a rough chart from the wiki to give you an idea. Simply put, higher level equals more clash wins, and more damage in an even higher offense level gives you even more damage. Compared to the previous tier, of course. But hold up, dear observant viewer. The chart says plus minus. What gives? Behold defense levels. This damage calculation goes both ways. If the opposing user is using a defense skill, you will not gain any clashing power because, well, it's not clashable, unless it says it's clashable. However, anyways, moving on. Instead, you'll do less damage to them if they proceed to use their defense skill. This damage calculation is based on their guard's defense level. Otherwise, you'll be calculating damage based on their body or parts stats for calculation. In short, guard to take less damage at higher levels, you take even less damage at higher levels. Here's a graph to show you the exponential growth of the damage multiplier behind the calculations. How else can I boost my offense or defense levels? I don't have all these threads and XP tickets. Can I improve them somehow? Yes. Sin Resonance and Sin Absolute Resonance. You achieve this when you match colors either by chaining them in succession or having them used in combat. Once you have a minimum of 3 colors, you will see this resonance symbol pop up. Here's a chart showing the bonuses, and now to elaborate. In Sin Resonance, only the first 2 skills won't get used. Or rather, they won't get bonuses, sorry. The other skills in Resonance, however, will gain bonuses based off of chart. In Sin Resonance, Sin Absolute Resonance, all skills in chain will get the bonuses based off of this chart. What about this example given by the wiki that wasn't explained properly? Well, using the chart, it is easy to see that the first Absolute Resonance will provide plus 3 offense levels to the skills. However, what about the other 3? Using the chart, they will gain bonuses based on which stat bonus is better, which means the 4th Blue Pride skill in Resonance will gain plus 5 offense level, 5th Pride skill will gain plus 5, and the 6th will gain plus 7. You will not gain the benefits of both Resonance and Absolute Resonance bonus. Only one bonus can be given at a time. Are levels the only way to do more damage? No, there are many mechanics in the game. You can raise or lower defense and offense levels during fights based off your skills, including E.G.O skills. You can also apply all these random statuses as well, converting statuses to something even stronger. But for now, just focus on resistance, be it physical or sin-based, as well as leveling your sinners. You can, of course, gather more information later once you get better. Just know these basic things. But what about understanding my ID's gimmick? Either read their skills or watch someone else explain it. Team building. Now that you know how to do damage, let's get some people to help dish it out. I'm a new player and I like status and that status. No! You won't have a juiced and roided team that early unless you are you're built like to store 6 kidneys, 12 whales, and 24 extra whale kidneys, okay? That's redundant. You will not have an amazing team right off the bat. You have like 2 really strong IDs at most. So, just focus on this team instead. Faust, 1 to 2 sync IDs, and the rest being good clashers, preferably strong damage dealers while they're at it. Just know that sync is important because you want to clash. You want to win clashes, you want to clash, and you want to win clashes because you want to do damage. Damage is good. What are some good IDs? I'm not going over all IDs, so here's the rule of thumb. If the ID is Season 5 or higher, they are likely to be amazing or of good quality, or both. Faust is important here due to her base E.G.O doing AoE, decent damage, and sanity healing. And of course, later on, she'll be used to mule Fuel Sac. Once you get Fluid Sac, get IDs to fuel Fluid Sac. What do I mean by fuel Fluid Sac? I mean generate all the sin resources needed for Fluid Sac. And of course, once you get all these uptie stuff, pour it all into Fluid Sac to get it to uptie 4. Uptie 3 is great, but uptie 4 just makes it more consistent, especially with the end of turn effect, gain healing for all. That's amazing. It's insane. Now, new manager rewards. Get Grippy Sinclair. Highest priority, get Grippy Sinclair. Grippy Faust should only be used for her support passive if You can get Lust Resonance easily. Ting Tang Honglu or TTL only for his support passive, but he can be used as a viable ID. Not needed though. If you have these already, I can only recommend Roach Dragger for his support passive. E.G.Os that you should get with your new manager rewards. Fluid Sac. Highest priority. Fluid Sac. It is broken. If you can fuel its resources, Gloom, Envy, and Wrath, get it. If not, get Ebony Stem, Legitime. The third E.G.O that you can get is that which was cast. I think that's what it's called for Rodion. But like that's about it. Yeah. Remember, you can always find out more about these E.G.Os by just reading them, or by trying them out. You can always try them out by using someone else's ID with these E.G.Os equipped. I recommend using it 10 times to get a general feel of the E.G.O and how it works in your team. This is about the end of the video, so if you have any questions, suggestions, complaints, or variants with other recommendations, just leave them in the comments below. I'll read them when I'm not on Risk of Rain or other games, yeah. Anyways, yeah, see ya.